Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. My name is James.
Ninetailedbrush.
And tonight we're going to be reacting to The Haunting of Bly Manor, episode 6. Last episode was gigantic. We found out that everything happened. Hannah Gross. We found out Hannah Gross was actually dead. We still left off with Danny kind of confronting... Like, that's the weird thing about last episode that I liked. It was all Hannah Gross. So we got a little more hint of what happened to... we found out that Peter... What happened to him, maybe? Like, he got killed by the ghost or something. And now he's taking control of the kid. So it's like a whole thing. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I feel like we should just get into it. As always, full-length reactions are going to be up on Patreon. Next week's reaction is also going to be up on Patreon. You go check that out. It does really help support us. And, let's just get into this one here.
I'm wondering is what is gonna happen now? Like, the problem is we know that Peter Quint, right, is still there, but no one else does.
Was that for his brother? I think so.
I think that's what it says.
Lord Wingrave greatly preferred the confines of his office to the comfort of his London flat, day and night tucked away in his work, in his nightly routine, until he was entombed in it, until there was no room left inside of it for anything else.
It says there's some things, nothing alarming, she says, but some things you may want to hear about.
No need. I'm happy the children are well.
Yeah, he's had like a weird separation from the kids. Not separation, but like lack of care, almost.
Yeah, you don't really care about the kids.
Well, I mean, Mrs. Gross said that it was a lot, like he kind of acted like this after his brother died.
Okay. There's obviously something.
Is there somebody there?
Yeah. That wasn't before. Could that be
Scotch or bourbon?
There's something. He's connected to this somehow. Now, could that represent another? Obviously, you could always say it's like another side of himself or something like that, right?
There's a lot of things.
Charlotte! She's close, but not yet. Thank God for that. Charlotte, I'm here! I don't think she cares much about that right now, to be honest. She's learning. She's quite learning. It happens. It doesn't... Miles? He's fine. He's asleep. I'm here, darling. It's my girl. My girl's in bed. Where are my girls?
So that's Flora, right?
Yeah. And they don't show things for no reason.
Yeah.
So there's obviously something.
Or not.
Out in the middle of nowhere. What? Why is she just laying there? Also, like, Hannah seems like she was almost like accepting her death last time, right?
Yeah, so we gotta see where she's.
Yeah,
is
so
she
like,
dead?
is she here anymore?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Hannah, just don't make drinks, period.
It's been okay. I seem to see less and less of Hannah. He just goes out, I guess. By herself.
Poppins, you flirt.
Fine. I don't like the way we left it. I wanted to start doing something right. So I thought I'd start with coffee.
What?
You sure about that?
I mean...
The coffee kind of
It's
messed
the
up.
time to think you might be sure. You've just seen a scary book.
Yeah, because she's seeing
That's
her
best,
dead
really?
fiancé.
I like you. If you want to get a drink, away from the house, away from all this, you could get a boring old drink in a boring old pub and see where that takes us.
Oh no.
Hey, what are you doing?
I low-key feel like they shouldn't have disturbed her. They should have just like let her...
You don't feel good. I don't know.
What?
Hello?
Who the heck was that?
I don't know. What is going on, though? Is this...
I mean,
Is that you?
we saw some weird stuff with Jessel in like Hannah Gross's memories too, right?
Yeah.
So like she was hopping memories or something.
And I'm thinking, like, could she be in, Flora, like like Peter's in Miles, like possession?
Maybe.
I'm Flora.
Holy.
There's someone in my room. A little boy.
Oh, Miles? For God's sake.
It's not Miles. It's not. It's... Uncle Henry?
Hello, Flora.
What's she doing here?
Okay.
Drive back.
See! Quickly!
Well, that's...
Yep.
Wait. Is that after?
If there is a little boy, and you're the only one who can see him, perhaps he'd like to be your friend.
No. There's something wrong with him.
Well, I should think he would be a very good listener.
That is not my reaction. Guys.
Friend. Well, perhaps you could give him a name. You could give him a whole story of his own.
Now Henry seems more normal.
Maybe I could do that. Give him a story.
That's my sweet
Well,
girl.
so many things are going on. I can't even tell when he's normal or he's not normal.
That's true.
When she was giving birth to Flora, right?
Okay.
So it was making me think.
So you think that
Flora might be
his kid?
Yeah, something like that, right? 'Cause
possibly.
I suppose it's because I'm too old. Isn't it?
Yes, I expect that's it.
So, why aren't I 5 years old? I'm not 5 years old. I'm 8 years old. I can touch Ray again in another memory.
You have.
This is happening more and more, isn't it?
Hey, you just nodded off there. Well, it looked like you fainted.
She did the same thing as Hannah.
Are you okay now?
Quite tired.
And she's all right.
I'm not sure.
She's all right, that's all.
If she isn't?
If she isn't, then why isn't she calling a bloody doctor?
Do we know how... Wait, what was their manner of death?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Did they say anything?
Hello.
How are you doing, Doc?
Different suit.
Is
Flashback.
your mother-
Yeah.
What about Mummy? A figment. My imagination.
Well,
Hi.
you're back.
Dude,
Yeah.
Flew in last night, last flight out of Glasgow.
he knows that...
Spur of the moment thing. How did you know?
Know what?
That I was back. Or were you... Why are you calling?
I was looking for you. I tried Glasgow and I couldn't find you, so
Well, I've answered my own question, actually, in the time
that we've been talking.
I've sorted it out.
Jeez.
Don't know who you're trying to hide from. And a 62 at that.
Are you sure we can still afford it? After Peter robbed you blind?
Don't know why I bother explaining myself to you. You know everything. Oh, or the housekeeper, or that cute little American. The calls are spooking them.
Ah. It's like his conscience almost.
Something.
Like, telling him.
It may not be as good as a conscience.
We missed you this afternoon. We didn't have to. Oh, I'm not. Well, I suppose it was around.
But there's less and less of her, right?
God, what does that say about me? I don't understand. How could... There is only family. Ever since Charlotte and Dominic went on that blasted trip, well, I suppose none of them came back. I mean, Charlotte and Dominic, obviously, but neither did Henry, if I'm honest.
So Henry's calling for someone at the house, right?
Yes. Hey, that's the kid. That's the kid.
Oh, shoot.
Why was he playing
with the dolls?
Yeah.
I don't know. Or he was just looking at it. I couldn't tell.
Had to wash up. Besides, I was asked to stay behind.
Who would ask you to do that? Maybe Poppins might fancy a little boredom. What do you say? The kids I would have taken care of. I got things handled here.
There really are things like that.
Yeah, but I mean, the kids seem friends with it anyway.
That is true. But
the kids are more on side of the ghost than the adults are at this point.
Yeah, but the way the previous Jessel, right? The way she was able to do something against Flora's will makes it a little weird.
This plant only blooms 2 months a year, but only at night.
Is that a real flower? That's cool if it is.
Probably is, right? Yeah.
These flowers will be dead by morning. It's a lot of work for a flower that only blooms once. It's what people feel like to me. Exhaustive effort, very little to show for it. So I figured I'd save you some effort. Skip to the end. One was Louise. Dad was Dennis. Dennis met Louise when she was 18. Dad starts working in a coal mine. It's more money, slightly more.
But a coal mine?
Now. And Louise, well, she's basically a kid herself. Kid with 2 kids and a husband 600 meters down. So she does what kids do. She plays. The thing about a coal mine, well, the thing I think about most now I'm older, no plants down there. No life at all. Dead that it's now lumps of dead things, so old and lifeless that they will literally burn. And that was his life. While she did whatever she could to feel alive. There's not a leaf, not a branch, not a flower in his world. And when he finally climbs out of that grave, finally climbs back to the land of the living, they laugh because the whole town knows that the new baby, my little brother Mikey, isn't his. And they praise him for his loyalty while they mock him for a cuckold. Call the daughter one too. Bully her at school, on the streets, even makes his way home. And in 67, Louise bolts. She splits. And I come home from school to find Mikey. Alone. He's still a baby. And he doesn't understand what he's doing wrong. Social services gets involved and we split up. Dad did his best. He spent so long underground, he didn't know what to do with a kid, let alone 3 kids. I left for London pretty soon after that. Got myself into all sorts of trouble there. I ended up serving a couple of years. And it's so clear then how people aren't worth it. But plants and your nourishment into them. And you see where it goes. You watch them grow. No one makes sense. But I know you're struggling. I see it. I know you're carrying this guilt around. Humans are organic. It's a fact. We're meant to die. Like this moonflower. To all its beauty lies, you know. The mortality of the thing.
Dude, for how much she's been through, she honestly has such a like beautiful outlook on life. You know?
Yeah.
And maybe it's because of what she's been through.
It's close enough, I suppose. Couldn't match it exactly, obviously.
This is like more than an affair, though. This is like, like almost like we're in love or something.
Sorry I won't make the party.
Sounds good. Darling, look what your brother's brought.
It's terrific. I'm sorry I can't make the birthday party. You know how it is. I'll call you when I get to Berlin. Sounds perfect.
Jeez.
Oh my god. All those extra children running around. You should get some rest as well. Are you coming to bed?
Flora's birthday.
I don't remember much. Beauty of childbirth. We're supposed to forget, they say.
chemical in the brain, in fact. She was.
Right. And I was so surprised. Well, for a baby that early, she wasn't nearly as small as I expected.
Yeah.
He
Can't hide
knows.
that.
He knows.
I mean, that if she wasn't early, she was actually right on time, that math wouldn't work. She kind of had to be early, didn't she? While I was in Russia.
He was away.
Burnley. House this size. Stuart Miles. Burnley. Do you love him?
She doesn't know.
Yeah, what is Jessel's...
She's doing something.
Yeah, what does she want?
I'm terribly sorry for the trouble.
Oh.
I was just going on a walk. I didn't mean to alarm you.
I
What?
think she's possessing her just like...
You think so? Is that why she's
Peter
saying?
is, because before... I don't know why I didn't pick up on this, but before she had that same... positively
Perfectly splendid.
thing, right?
Yeah.
That she was saying. And I thought she was just picking that up.
Yeah, but now you think it's...
Well, because the thing is, she doesn't
Yeah.
act...
Fine. Fine. Get her back on the phone.
He's all hopping around,
Dude,
too.
everybody is.
I do. Babies rarely adhere to a schedule, Dom. But listen, and this is the important part. She's my daughter. In every way that matters. First time
That is
some
true.
arsehole breaks her heart, I'll be there to console her. And when she asks her father to walk her down the aisle, she didn't tell you. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
You get to be there when the
shoot.
penny drops.
I totally forgot this.
I've been thinking, you're banished, little brother. You're banished from my house. You're banished from my wife, my children. Banished. Just yourself. And yourself, Henry. Your real self. He's an evil shit.
So there's your symbolism, right? I mean,
Yeah. So it was. It's like his...
I mean, maybe that's why he's staying away from them. Between that and his brother being dead, the guilt is kind of like...
Yeah.
It's further than I have missed. It's going to be fine. It's just a few weeks, my darling.
So then they're going on the trip to help with their wedding, their marriage, you know?
It's a terribly long time.
This is called a talisman.
Okay, so this is where she gets this, and...
Well, sometimes I still
Yeah.
do. Old habits.
Not really here. I'm too old. It's like the math doesn't work.
That's right. You should probably wake up now.
You... What are you doing?
Flora!
Hey! You're eating dinner without me!
What? Well, Flora, wait. You already ate. It's in your room.
I don't like this game.
It's okay.
I don't like it!
Oh, that's probably your uncle. Everything's gonna be okay, Flora. Don't worry. Hello?
So he's who's been calling.
No, yeah.
Ah, it's just...
Is he going back into another vision, or...
I don't know. I think
memory?
he's legitimately remembering. It's not, like, he's not in weird
I'm sorry
stuff.
to come by. I made up a story. I don't have long.
Flora.
I'm so sorry. I should have told you. We're leaving tonight. India. For a few weeks. We're tracing our honeymoon. I'm going to make this work. My husband, my family.
Dude, good on her.
I needed you to hear it from me. There's a lot more to it than love. A lot more to it.
this is him now.
Yeah.
Come on. Answer it. No, but you have to. You know that. I don't want to, but you always do. Come on, there's nothing to be afraid of. You know who it is. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You're wrong. It was hell. Every time is hell. No, that wasn't the worst of it. Not even arranging their funerals and burying those empty coffins. Break the news. And having her voice be the first one you heard when she picked up the phone. Her little voice saying,
All residents.
phone just disconnected. So, it shouldn't be. It wasn't earlier.
Just go over there,
I'm
dude.
sure it's nothing.
Finally go over.
Go to Bly then. They'll be so happy to see you. And maybe you can tell those little kids to
Yeah.
their faces exactly
To kind of
Yeah.
go through
and you
yourself.
can tell them why they were taking.
I think that's the biggest thing, right?
That he feels the guilt of that?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he did indirectly cause their death.
Yeah. I mean, just as much as Danny caused her boyfriend's death.
I mean,
Like, it's pretty... What the heck?
it's the kid.
You poor boy. I'm so sorry about your face. Here. Now let's come up with a story. Just for you. I've done it again, haven't I? Pushing me aside, Miss Jessel!
I feel like Miss Jessel.
Come on now. Stop hiding from me. I want to talk to you.
Oh my
Let me
gosh.
talk with you.
But why? Everything is just fine. It's perfect.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
Tired of being tucked away and of Miles acting strange.
What's the matter with Miles?
Miles is perfectly splendid, except when he isn't. No, don't do that. You mustn't keep doing that.
Yeah,
Get
dude,
back
I don't know
and
what
let me
Rebecca's
see you.
doing. Like, really?
What are you doing to me?
Oh.
Miles! Miles!
Well,
It's not. Dude, it's not her anymore.
Okay, what is Rebecca doing, man? That's-
Oh, this is where she saw the freaky weird ghost lady.
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah,
it was like
this-
on the floor or something.
Sorry.
No. Gosh, are you
Gotta wait a week to see what happens. So I know we didn't talk much that episode because they were explaining a lot. But we got a lot explained.
Yeah, so
Hannah Gross is still here. It just seems like she's disappearing more and more.
yeah, I'm also curious as to whether or not she retained any knowledge of her figuring out that she was dead.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't seem like that, to be honest. It
No.
seems like she's just kind of forgotten about that a little bit.
She's
and
just
it's kind of just
phasing in and out
Yeah.
still. But we got the whole backstory with the dad, which I think
With
is
the
really
whole
cool.
family,
Like
basically.
I really like that whole backstory.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, I mean, something of obviously there was no way I was going to be able to
Yeah, you
figure
really
that out,
predict
but it was like, I mean, I don't even know what to think about it. It's
I
kind of just
really like. To me, that's what makes it the most. Like that's what this is. What about the show that reminds me the most about Hill House? Is it's like that felt like such a real issue. and it hurt, and it's complicated, and it's not black and white, and it wasn't just her sleeping with him, like, she really fell for him. It was, like, that weird thing. And then at the same time, like, honestly, credit to her, she was like, no, this is wrong. I am going to make my marriage work, and I'm gonna raise my kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to give her credit, to be honest. Like, if I'm just being totally honest.
Yeah.
I can't really, like, even... Of course, it is a good thing to understand that it is wrong.
Yeah.
But to me, that is a sort of not only deception and partial manipulation, but also a backstab to the dad. Because, like, to me, it feels like a one-time thing, kind of like how Sherry was... Right, Sherry, was that Cheryl? Shirley? Yeah.
What,
in Hill House? That makes it a little more like, okay... It's understandable.
Yeah.
But here, it's like... to me, it's like, I don't care if you actually fell in love.
Yeah.
It's still... Like, you have to understand that you fell in love... first of all, I don't know the exact context. Like, I don't know how they fell in love. I don't know how they got married, like Dominic and Charlotte.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, if it was something like, oh, she was forced to marry Dominic or something like that.
Yeah, but
I
doubt we're assuming it wasn't...
Right?
We're assuming it wasn't something like that.
Because obviously, if it was something like that, then I'd be like, oh, it's a little more understandable.
Yeah, of course.
But here, it's like, I mean, you must have fell in love with Dominic first.
Yeah.
Right? And you must have gotten married and had a kid like, to begin with. Like, that is, like, set stuff. And then you end up falling in love with someone else and continuously and consistently betray your husband.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right at all. Like, it is.
No, of course it's not. It's not right.
No, not just not right. It is very...
It's worse
it's
than just
weird.
like cheating?
It's weird, yes, because it's like... It's a different type of cheating, right? It's not a one-time fling, right?
Yeah.
It's like an actual, like, even after the kid is born, that is not your kid, and you almost get caught, and then not also not telling Henry about that, and then continuing to do that, even with, like, even after that whole deal with the kid is, like, very selfish to me, right?
No, I agree.
I think everyone has things that are, that can be, like, you know... close to true love in a sense of, like, you know, in other matters, right? But that they have to kind of give up because they realize doing that is incorrect. Right?
Yeah, and she didn't.
Yeah, which is, to me, that is a very grave mistake.
Yeah.
Right, to me. It's not I don't know what to say. To me, even if it is true love, that to me makes it worse.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think that's very... It felt very real in the way that it wasn't like, oh, they had this dramatic breakup, and then Dominic storms out, and then, to me, it felt very real because it was like, this is so complicated. And the fact that he decided to stay with her, and that she decided to try and make it work, like, to me, that felt like humans are imperfect in the most extreme of ways.
Yes.
And then in a weird way, they're also equally resilient. And so I think that, like... I really liked that because to me that felt so real and so human. I can't really describe it any other way, and it seems sloppy to say it that way, but it really was like credit to the dad's character. And look, I know the mom is still, you know, you can think what you want, and I agree with you, but it still is like that weird like combination of like humans are so weak and so bad sometimes, but then at the same time they're also so strong. Like it is that weird thing of like if she was totally weak, she would have just ran away with him, right? So it's that weird. It was very interesting to see that, and I liked that.
Yeah, but I don't think she would run away with him because, in a sense, that would really find her out, right? It would show that because she was still trying to hide it, right? I don't think there was ever a moment, even if you are weak. I think if you are weak, you will not try to run away with him, right? Because you will, you know, it brings everything to light.
Yeah.
And it solidifies everything.
I mean,
whereas
I feel
here, she keeps it secret because she is worried that it will get out.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I feel like that was kind of a huge point of the episode.
Yeah, and I think just that
Like, in general, because you saw that a lot with Jamie's parents, too, right?
No, yeah.
Which it was kind of that, like, idea of you can play in fantasy, but you cannot do that. Like people cheat or whatever, ignoring the idea of the consequences, and you need to understand that, like, you can't cheat forever. Yeah. You can be in love with this guy. Eventually, they're gonna find out. You're gonna tell them. They're gonna, you know what I mean? And so it is kind of like in both stories, it was kind of that, like, look, you can't just ignore reality in your own little fantasy world. Actions have consequences, and you're damaging people in the real world. Yeah. With what you do. And even Jamie's mom running away, it's like that damaged her in the real world. Even if her mom didn't ever have to worry about the kids again, quote unquote. It's like all of those children were damaged because of what she did. Because she ran away to live her fantasy.
Yeah, and I just feel like, I feel like the episode showed the weakness, in a sense, of these people,
Yeah.
Where they weren't able to kind of cope with certain things, certain situations in their lives.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, it goes even to Holy. I didn't even think about this. It even goes to Jessel and Peter.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like they're dead. And they're using these poor children to not be, or something.
I'm thinking it's like something weird, like they want to get together again. Unless Jessel doesn't know that.
Dude, they better not.
Did know. I think it's something like that. It's something weird. Like, that's just what...
Which is so messed up, if that...
Well, I mean, to begin with, taking over the body... I don't care if you're borrowing or whatever. Like, taking the body of a kid to, like, do what you want, it's so weird.
Yes,
like,
and it's so manipulative, because the poor kid doesn't know any better. And if they don't know any better to tell you no. Like you could see Flora being like, okay, and then like she doesn't really understand how to stand up for herself,
it's like
right?
Taking advantage of a kid.
It is. It's like taking advantage of a child.
Not just that, it's like taking advantage of a kid's life. Like, because remember, you're taking up time that she would have used in her own life, where she could be going, playing violin, playing with her dolls. She is having that time, put elsewhere for the convenience of someone who has died already.
Well, it's like when, and I know this is a very extreme metaphor, so bear with me here, but it's like when adults are dating or like with pedophilia and stuff like that, right? Where like the argument that you always hear that people say are like, oh, but they were okay with it, especially if it's like older, right? If they're on the edge, like 15 or something, right? They're like, no, they wanted to. Yeah. And it's like, the thing that you don't understand is that it's a child. They don't understand. They don't understand what they're agreeing to. And I feel like it's kind of, I'm not comparing it to pedophilia, but in the same way of like,
but it kind of
they're using the kids in the same way where it's like, even if Flora agreed to it, or even if Miles agreed to it, I don't know if they did, or I'm not confirming whether they did. They don't know any better. They're kids.
Yes, they are
10
children.
Or whatever, right? Like, they're children.
Yeah, because
even if they say, yes, they're kids, they don't know any better.
Like, you hear about stories of, like, people when they're 16, 17, they're like, when they grow older, when they're 30 or whatever, they're like, dude, there's some stuff that I did that I never,
dude, people when they're like 25, right? Like, even ignoring the kids, people who are like 20 are like, dude, I was an idiot.
Yeah.
When I was 20 and they're 40 now or something. It's like everybody says it's.
Yeah, they are still like children.
Which is so messed up, because then it's like the responsibility as the adult.
Yes.
Is to. They're not going to know any better. They're going to agree. They're going to be okay with it. And it's your job to not take advantage of that.
Yes, the only way I see any redemption for Jessel is that she's somehow being forced.
By Peter or something?
Not even by Peter, just literally forced.
Okay.
Like, just forced to do this.
I mean, we don't know the specifics yet. It seems like they're both kind of possessing them somehow.
Yes. Well, I mean, listen, there better be some explanation that she was actually forced to do this. Like, literally. Not manipulatively. Because it is still wrong. It is completely
the more I think
wrong.
about it is really messed up.
It is very messed up.
Yeah.
And so, but back to what I was saying earlier, because I don't want to forget this.
Sorry.
It was showing, like, the whole, weakness of whatever, people not being able to cope with whatever.
Yeah.
But also it showed a few of the strengths in people, right? Like, one, the resilience of...
Jamie?
Jamie, right?
Yeah.
And how she was able to get through all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And even the strength of the dad of Dominic.
Yes.
Right? Like, very... Like, I would not have expected that sort of response. Like, I knew that they end up dying because of some trip or something. I didn't exactly remember what happened.
I don't think they specified it very much.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, oh, did Dominic freaking go off the handle and, kill everyone? Or something like that.
Okay.
I was thinking something like that. Because, I mean, listen,
after Hill House, you never know.
Listen, you got to give credit to Dominic. Because, I mean, how many people nowadays would be able to handle that?
Yes.
There's almost no one.
I don't know if I would like it's one of those things where you're like, and you wouldn't even need to. It's you're going above and beyond nobody would blame you for not dealing with it even.
Well, of course you don't want to say, oh, it's fine to just I don't know, attack the other person.
No, I'm not saying attack. I'm just saying doing what he did.
Yeah.
Like he could have left and been like, you cheated on me. What's wrong with you? I'm taking the kids and I'm leaving you.
Yeah,
no one would have blamed him.
Everyone would be fine if he was mad.
Yes,
but he was still. Of course, he wasn't fine with it, but he was like, it's a mistake. It isn't something that is unforgivable, right?
Yeah.
And we can still get through this, which is very strong and honorable. Like, that is hard to do. And the way he treated it with his brother, like, I mean, I think that's just...
That was the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's just... If he said, oh, it's all good, like, that'd be a little weird. Like, I don't know if that would ever happen. But
couldn't...
It's like... the response was fine. Like, some might... see it as kind of harsh, but it's like...
I don't think it was harsh at all. I think it was mild, if anything.
But it's like, like your own brother...
He could have done more.
Tough,
Like, brothers myself, I'm like, dude, that's...
Yeah, that's
one line you cannot cross. That's unforgivable.
Yeah. So, I think that he was very strong in that regard and had a lot of self-control.
Yeah.
And, even through that weakness... right, from whatever, it was able to show another side of, Dominic, and the strength of humanity almost. Which is cool. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We'll see. We got 4 episodes left.
I don't exactly,
where's it gonna go?
Because, I mean, well, at least...
I feel like it has to move forward, right? We've kind of caught up on the past these last 2 episodes, and now it's like, okay... Danny just got smacked in the head by Miles or Peter or something.
Well, at least Hannah now knows something's going on with these ghost things. Because before I was thinking, of course we saw Peter Quint possess Miles.
Yeah.
And so, but no one else really did. So it's how are we gonna fix this problem if no one knows the problem?
Yeah.
But now at least Hannah knows there's something going on with these ghosts from the past. Peter's still here and Rebecca's still here. So and now she has a vague idea of something. So
but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously we're going to continue watching the show next week. Full-length reaction for this episode is going to be up on Patreon. Next week's reaction is also up on Patreon if you guys want to go check that out. Helps us out, helps us keep doing what we're doing. But either way, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you all in the next video.